Kurt Show.
Oh, hey, hi. How you doing, Clay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I like how we pretend like we haven't been talking for like 5 minutes before, 5, 10 minutes, whatever it is, and just pretend like it's brand new. Oh, hello there. What a surprise.
How are you?
I wasn't expecting to see you here today. Oh, my goodness. Everything good? What was your snow status? I never asked.
We got dusted. That was it.
Really?
It was,
oh, my God. We got beat
not
up.
much here. Didn't really stick for all that long. So, yeah, did not get anything that the East Coast got. Nothing.
Oh, yeah, we got buried. It's a bummer. I'm ready to move to Florida right now. My husband's watching. Dude, let's go. Not like he hasn't heard me say it. Not like he hasn't heard me say it like 20 times. Like, anytime you want to go. I make a point of waiting until he goes out and does the snow thrower thing and comes in all, frozen and aggravated and tired. And I'm like, ready to move? You ready?
So manipulative.
I like to call it smart.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, my friend, you gave us a whole bunch of great topics. I mean, the most obvious we've got to go with. Oh wait, we can't even go with that yet. What am I saying? We've got a little intro. Look how I skip ahead. It's because I don't do it every time. That's why.
We do have a great show, folks. We got obviously lots going on. The big news was last night's State of the Union. So again, Wednesday, 3:30 Eastern time. We are recording. So. But yeah, State of the Union last night. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Olympics. We got all kinds of stuff. So we'll get to that right after this.
From Trump's record-breaking State of the Union dropping hard truths on the economy and border, to an armed breach at Mar-a-Lago, cartel chaos south of the border after a major takedown, Olympic glory lighting up America, and a New York mayor calling a cop assault a snowball fight. We're unpacking it all with facts, faith, and zero filter. Let's get into it.
All right, now we can get into it. Let's talk about the State of the Union. So, longest speech ever. Yes. It was, what did you say was? You told me how long it was. It was just under 2 hours.
Yeah, I ran a stopwatch. It was an hour and 47 minutes from just him speaking. Like from the, start of coverage, he started speaking at, whatever it was, 9/11 on the East Coast and went for an hour and 47 minutes, to the time that he stopped, which is 10 minutes longer than the previous record held by President Bill Clinton. So he beat that. But as you and I talked leading in, my biggest pet peeve, and I have a lot of them with the State of the Union, but my biggest pet peeve, I don't care who's standing up there, but the up, down with the all the applause and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You watched it I can promise you everybody will agree with me. That would cut, if we got rid of that, we would 30 minutes minimum off of the speech itself. Minimum 30
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
minutes for sure.
Yeah, we were saying before we came on air, guys, that somebody out there must have clocked it and did that,
did the math
timing to see exactly how long. So I'd love to see if anybody knows, put it in the comments because I'm curious how much time they actually would have shaved off if they just kind of made that rule of, okay, there's going to be no clapping, no nothing until it's completely done. And then you can stand, sit, leave, stay, do whatever you want. But you have to wait till the end. So I'd be curious how long it was. Let's see. So we watched President Trump stand in that chamber for nearly 2 hours and lay out what was a real comeback looks like, what a real comeback looks like. Gas under 230 in some places, stocks hitting records, and a border that's finally getting the respect it deserves. He called out the nonsense. He was a lot of calling out, a lot of very direct calling out. We've got some video to share with that too. He honored some amazing heroes, and he reminded everyone whose country this is. So even though we saw the gold medal hockey team get, this says here, I have here that it was a bipartisan ovation. It was pretty good, right? I mean, they were pretty good about that. It was like the one of the probably only times that actually happened. But he turned the overwhelming Democrat silence into the best campaign ad possible. I mean, they handed it to him doing that. They really did, and it was kind of really brilliant on his part, the way that he called them out, right?
Well, and so this is the advantage of the up, down with applause is you go line item by line item, whatever it is, whatever specific point he's trying to make. And he forces the Democrats in this case to not applaud for something that is important. And, some of the key ones were, the priority for Congress is to take care of Americans, not illegal aliens. Agree, stand and applaud if you agree with that. None of the names stand up, right? Except
None
for
of
Fetterman.
them. Yep.
Right.
We do have it. We can play that one if you want. Want to play it quick?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but those are the kinds of things that he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
All right, bear with me, guys. I played it out of order. What do you want from me? Just call it amateur hour. Let me start. Let me go back and give you this one.
I'm inviting every legislature to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
It's quite a few minutes right there.
Yeah, right? This guy.
This guy. We got a couple Dems standing there.
Yeah, Fetterman and some others. But
Yeah. All right, so we get the idea that he does speak more, and of course you saw the back end of that first. That he called him out, shamed him for it, and listen, I mean, come on, hate Trump all you want, guys, hate him all you want, but when you don't stand up for America, for Americans, I mean, you just gave it to him. You just gave that to him on a silver platter. He knew it. He knew exactly what they would do. He knew the optics of it for them, and they didn't get it.
Yeah.
They didn't get the memo.
No. And listen, this has been coming for a while. It's been brewing and it gets progressively worse, but decorum in the chamber is gone, right?
Yeah, it's so gross. We've talked about it many times. Yep.
We have. And folks, this is both sides. I know everybody got worked up because you got the close up of Tlaib and Omar, right? And they're pointing and they're yelling and, everybody's, and I get it, Tlaib had the F-ICE button on that was shown on national television, which her office should get a fine from the FCC. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
But I'm going to remind everybody, Marjorie Taylor Greene did exactly the same thing to Joe Biden not that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I get it. We got Al Green with the sign and he gets thrown out immediately and he got thrown out 5 minutes in last time. And then you got the yelling and the shouting, but this isn't the first time. It's certainly not going to be the last time. And both parties are guilty. They are, right? Yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene has done this in the past. There's been others on the red side of the aisle that have done it. So I think all of us can agree we expect more. We expect, grown-up behavior out of those folks.
Right.
And it's just not happening. It's not.
Yeah, and the last time something like this happened, we had a very similar conversation. And of course, nothing has come of it. Nobody has made any impactive call for decorum and just simply better behavior. Like, come on, you are representing the entire country. Like, it's literally your job. That is who you are and what you do. That's your purpose. And you are failing collectively, miserably at it. Now, you don't want to stand. That's fine. I can respect that. fine. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but keep your mouth shut. Don't wear disrespectful pins or, attention calling articles of clothing, their little costumes that they like to wear to make their statements and all of this. None of that. Show up, act right, make your case, outside of that room, outside of that time. But there should be decorum, period. There were a lot of, pretty moving moments, unsurprisingly, and we all know that the State of the Union is it's like theater, this, or at least it's become that. It's just a big theater. Of course, whoever is president of the time is going to tout all of the good things, and anything that's negative, they'll either ignore or downplay or put some spin on it. So you can have a million opinions, about that. Some of the really moving moments, though, was the mom of Irina Zarutska standing up there. And that, that to me was one of those moments, much like the one last time with the little boy DJ that they couldn't stand up for. Another moment like that where they couldn't even set the garbage, set the politics aside to show some respect to a grieving mother. And, things like that. It's just, it does them no service, right? And I agree with you, Clay. Whatever side that it is, if this were reversed and someone on the right, the Republicans, were behaving in that manner and failing to show the respect, I know that I would have the same disappointment and disdain for that kind of behavior, for sure.
Yeah, and just before we go too far, there is I've seen at least 2 or 3 instances on social media. DJ has not passed away, folks.
Yes, I'm glad you said that because I saw it too.
Yeah. There's been, I saw 2 different graphics. One said he died on the 23rd. One said he died on the 24th, the day of, right? And it seemed very strange because, listen, President Trump keeps track of everybody. Yeah. Anybody who's touched him, his administration, he keeps track of them. There is no way if that young man had passed away that wouldn't have been mentioned at the State of the Union. So I knew something was off. It's been debunked. He's not passed away. So let's not go too far on that. But there were some great things that happened last night. We've got 2 Congressional Medals of Honor awarded last night.
Yes.
The second one was Captain Royce Williams, retired U.S. Navy fighter pilot, who was a fighter pilot in 3 wars, for crying out loud.
3 wars.
100 years old, and very, very early in Korea, got into a pretty nasty dogfight. And, I think if I remember the story right, killed 4 jets, 4 Russian built jets, and then defended himself probably without a lot of ammo left if he killed 4 jets. But so Medal of Honor for him. And then Chief Warrant Officer 5, which for those folks that don't know the military, Chief Warrant Officer 5 is like a friggin' unicorn. There's not a lot of those running around. And so Eric Slover is the very first ever Chief Warrant Officer 5 to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor. And he was a helicopter pilot on the Maduro raid for the Special Operations Aviation Organization Task Force 160 Night Stalkers. And was on the lead. It sounds like on the lead helicopter, which makes sense for a guy with that level of experience.
Sure.
And cockpit got shot up, including him, and got him all the way into the LZ and let him out. And then basically looked at his co-pilot and was like, "You got the controls, man. I got him here, but I'm not going to get him out." And then they flew out. So some pretty amazing stuff, great stories from both of them. And then, of course, you've got the National Guardsman who got shot, received a Purple Heart, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the first Purple Heart awarded for battlefield injury in the United States since the Civil War.
No kidding.
Yeah, because truthfully, we haven't. Now, people are going to say Hawaii, right? They're going to say Hawaii from World War II, blah, 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 blah. Go back and find out what year Hawaii became a state. But I'm pretty sure he's the first one. So anyway, a lot of great things that happened last night. Erica Kirk was there.
Yeah.
Something that's mildly disturbing. Did you know that you can bet on who the guests are going to be at, like, who's going to be at the State of the Union?
Oh, geez.
So this is the crazy. There were 4 names that they were tracking. One of the betting sites was tracking. Nicki Minaj was one of them. She had the lowest odds. Barron Trump had second lowest odds, but he was there. Erica Kirk was higher than Barron Trump. She was there.
Interesting.
And I think that number one was not there, and that was what's his name, the fraud kid from Minneapolis, that's now over in California doing his thing.
Oh yeah,
Nick.
Yeah, Sorter.
Whatever the kid's name is, the kid who found all the fraud in Minneapolis. Like there was an expectation that he would be at the State of the Union very high. Regardless, I think it's a little strange. It's probably on the edge of dysfunctional that you can bet on those things. But that's kind of, lending to your statement about how much of a soap opera that this has become. It's become a production. The content is what it is, but everything that goes around it is taken precedent over the content of the speech.
Yeah, it's just sad to me because, we just collectively, obviously it's deep in the conservative heart and brain and actions to feel and behave very patriotically and very America. So I'm talking in a generalized sense that we've just strayed so far from national pride and community and unity with things like this. And I just feel like I remember watching these things and there was like a bit of excitement that, we're going to celebrate America and our accomplishments and our goals and our dreams and our ambitions and our successes. And we come together and, it's just, there's just none of that. And quite frankly, it's just sad and a little depressing to know that this is all it is now. All it is now is just theater and drama and, an opportunity for everybody to take their little grandstanding moment and make it about themselves. And be the center of the action and not be paying attention to the actual purpose, which is Americans. Come on, people.
And on top of it, you had the, what was it called? The People's State of the Union. There was the secondary event that was going on. I'm sitting here looking at the list of Democrats that chose not to attend, right? Yeah. So I'm looking at, let's see, Catherine Clark, who is the House Minority Whip, is the highest ranking to boycott. She's a pretty significant person in House of Representatives. We've got Markey, Merkley, Murphy, Smith, Van Hollen, Wyden, Gallego, Schiff. Adam Schiff, big surprise. Murray, Tammy Duckworth, Heinrich, Lujan, Elsa Brooks, Whitehouse, Peters, and King, who's an independent. That's just the senators that boycotted. That does not include the representatives, which included AOC, Jayapal, right? Swalwell, right? And a bunch of others. So you're talking all told, I'm going to guess, just rough count, probably 35-ish of them that did not attend, chose not to. So, there's a lot of talk in the aftermath of, President Trump didn't change anybody's mind and he didn't bring the country any closer together, which is true. However, when you've got 35 representatives from the opposite party that choose not to be there and hold their own competing event, it wouldn't matter what he said. There is no attempt by anyone to bring this, to bring the people of the country closer together. So, I guess if you're going to do that, and I've said this a million times, I'm not fond of President Trump and the name calling. I am fond in this case of calling out the party as a whole, how obstructionist the Democrats have been. I think he could have done without things like calling out Nancy Pelosi by name, which, however funny, was probably not, in my opinion, the thing to do in the House, again, going back to decorum. But I think there is, I don't know who the person is that's going to bring the two parties together, but we're drifting further and further by the day. Yeah.
I'm going to say it's Rubio. Just saying. I'm back on that track again.
He was super humble last night when the president gave him props. Super. Didn't want to stand up. Didn't want to be acknowledged. The guy, he is an absolute rock star. He's
such a rock star. You mentioned some of those independent events going on by Democrats, their counter thing. I think this is a little compilation I have of some of those events and how amazing and successful they were.
Pretty ridiculous.
Defy Trump. and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
This is the moment.
This one was funny too.
This is the reason that she came here to the United States, to speak truth to power, to explain the trials and tribulations that every immigrant, that every refugee goes through to get here, and to press this country to the border. I stuck at the border. Go Trump! Go Trump! Hey Murphy, you're something. Thanks, man.
This is painful. It's Joy Reid, if you guys don't know who that is.
I think I did okay.
You did amazing. Yes. You get an A. I don't give grades, though. We just go on vibes, and the vibes were immaculate.
Oh, God.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, how about that? That's special. That was special. So those were like, super successful and well attended, I'm sure. Yeah.
The vibes were immaculate.
The vibes were so immaculate. She doesn't give grades. She gets, please, I pray, I didn't look her up. I don't know who she is. I pray that she is not an actual educator. Good Lord, if that's what's educating your kid, get them the heck out of that school system now, right now. Save your kid. Anyhow, so that's what was going on there. So, all of the obvious, countering, aftermath of these, of course, NBC fact check crew called it a series of exaggerated and false claims on the economy and immigration. Let's see, the right-leaning take was I think it was Daily Wire, and Fox called it a home run show that shamed the sitters and celebrated American success. So, no surprises here. Everyone over on this side is saying yay rah. Everyone over on that side is saying boo, it sucked. No surprises, guys. If you want the assessment of all of it, there it is right there, very eloquently, right?
Yeah, it's exactly what you would expect. It's none of it is honest. It's all, hooray for our side. It's exactly, again, this is the root of the problem, is that there is no honest assessment by anyone, one way or the other, who is an elected official or party representative that says this was good or this was bad. And that's the problem. It is absolutely party line. It is, Fetterman's the only outstanding one out of the whole crew, which you remember a couple of years ago, you and I were very, very concerned on that guy because of his mental capacity, the strokes and all that other stuff. And he's turned out to be an amazing surprise. But he's changed his dress, by the way. He's mostly ditched the public hoodies and basketball shorts. So he's that. But it just is, it's the same thing we get every year, State of the Union. It's the same theater that comes in, it's elevated.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. I know President Trump was touting accountability, and that was the whole message today. And but really, I think he needs to shift gears and start working on America 250 and just focus on that. That should be the theme from now till July.
Yeah, I like that. I think that would be great. Because we're talking about Trump, let's just go on to this. Another incident, armed breach at the president's doorstep. An armed 21-year-old from North Carolina drove straight into the security perimeter at Mar-a-Lago this week. Secret Service ended the threat fast and clean. In the middle of everything else going on, it's a stark reminder that words have consequences and protection never sleeps. So it's simply meaning that, all of this, everything that we've been talking about in this first segment, in every episode show before this, about how this kind of rhetoric is the dog whistle for mentally ill people. And you would be a liar or a fool to say that they don't know that that's the case. They know this 100% because, once or twice you could say, we didn't know. We didn't know that we were triggering these people, these mentally ill lunatics. We didn't know that our actions would cause this to happen. Well, all it took was one or two incidents to make any sane, compassionate, caring person say, whoa, maybe we better dial it back. We better tone it down, calm it down. And, nope, not these folks. They just keep blowing that whistle as hard as they can. and things like this keep happening. Let's see. So the intruder obviously was armed. The response was pretty textbook. President Trump did address it directly. I don't know. I have here that we're not speculating on motives, but yeah, let's speculate on motives. I mean, it's not too hard to really speculate on that, right?
Well, so his name was, you got it because he's an assassin. You have to have the 3 names because that's,
of course, that's the rule.
Austin Tucker Martin is his name. Like you said, 21 years old from North Carolina, armed with a shotgun and a gas can. That's what he had when they killed him, supposedly raised the shotgun towards Secret Service. And like you said, they reduced the threat as they should. There's been no, and there won't be, there's no public, publicity about how many shots was fired. Did the kid shoot back? Any of that good stuff. And there shouldn't be because it really doesn't matter.
Right.
But the president, most notably, was not at Mar-a-Lago, thankfully, when this happened at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
If you want to speculate, there's a couple of things. I always say that first report's always wrong.
Always wrong.
Take a breath. But there was speculation that the young man is transgender. There are, pictures supposedly of him on the internet in some weird black and white like skirt and knee-high socks, something like just some weird, female type dress. I don't even know if that's the kid. We can't trust anything nowadays with AI.
Right.
There's speculation that he was. I've heard this a couple of places that he was very upset about the contents of the Epstein files, right? And that is what drove him to do this. And supposedly he was at one time a Trump supporter. Supposedly he is afraid of guns. Supposedly, there's a lot of speculation out there. Truthfully, 21 years old. I can make a lot of speculations. My guess is coddled, probably babied into his 20s, maybe even still lived with his parents. I don't know.
Yep.
But he's probably a product. He's a COVID product kid who, is probably bothered by a stiff breeze. And it just set him off, and it's two things that happen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's always funny to me that their immediate go-to is, well, we know that he was a Trump supporter at one point. Like, how many times have we heard that narrative? All of them.
I think he's a Trump supporter. So, those Trump supporters, they tend to go crazy all the time and start shooting things up that they don't like. Like, yeah, actually, it's you guys. It's actually been you guys. Most of the time. I'm not saying every single time, but yeah, it's so ridiculous. Listen, it's sad and it's tragic. And, I know somebody's going to pop in the comments and shake their fist and say, mental illness is no laughing matter. I'm not laughing at mental illness, you dolt. I'm laughing at the stupidity of, the reactions and the nonsense that surrounds all of this, and the playing stupid all the time, playing innocent, not so much playing stupid, playing innocent all the time. Like, what? We didn't know that was going to happen, and I don't know what's worse, to be honest with you, Clay, the ones that, play innocent, like, well, we're just saying what we think. We can't help what people do with that. Or the ones that sit there and openly, celebrate or mock or say things like, oh, maybe next time they'll get them, and things like that. Like, there's so many layers of just pure evil here with this kind of stuff that it's mind-boggling that people are in positions of leadership and power and all of that, and they are the ones that are really, like I've said before, just blowing that dog whistle for these people. It's just madness.
And they don't learn their lesson. And not trying to bring up the Epstein thing, but I'll use the ladies on The View as an example.
Sure.
They have been the ones pounding, yelling, release, making accusations with zero proof that President Trump and other people are in those files. And then when they get released, what happens?
Can you put up my name is in the files? Yes. And what does it say? It says, Whoopi needs a plane to get to Monaco. They don't want to charter, so they're looking for private owners. Here's the info. They're saying, do you want to offer your G2?
Yeah. So in other words, anybody can be on this list. So in other words, anybody can be on this list.
I wasn't his girlfriend. I wasn't his friend.
You were too old for him.
I was not only too old, but it was at a time, where this is just not. You used to have facts before you said stuff.
But Trump is on the list 38,000 times.
Well, I can't speak to him, but I'm speaking about me because I'm getting dragged. People actually believe that I was with him. It's like, honey, come on. Yeah. Every man that I've ever been with You've known about
because they dropped like 300 names,
yes.
and it's like flood the zone because when you're looking, there are people like Marilyn Monroe who's dead.
Elvis.
Yeah, a lot of people, because a lot of the reasons your name can be mentioned are news articles, third-party emails, contacts. Again, wealthy, famous people often cross in professional and social circles, so that's not the surprising part.
There's Whoopi Goldberg's name, and what does she do? She says, it's not me, or what? Yeah, I didn't have anything to do. I'm not his girlfriend, never visited there, don't know anything about him.
Don't be so quick to jump to conclusions.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And what did they do? Right. As soon as that segment's over with, they go back to jumping to conclusions and making accusations. Yeah. So nobody learns their lesson, right? All they do is they accuse, they attack, and then they're offended when somebody, the same thing happens to them and they learn nothing. Right. So, I'm in, I've said this before. I don't like the FAFO, mentality. I think it's old. I think it's, overdone. But like, the boy who cried wolf, whatever you want to call it, people have got to learn their lesson and have a little bit of humility and a little bit of intellect and get better, do better. Yeah. And they're just not. Nobody is. That's the sad part.
Yeah, you're right. And it's so sad to me that like how many of these moments that should be moments for that come up. That's a perfect example of it. Like, here's the moment where you have the epiphany, Whoopi and Joy and Sunny, all the ironic names that could ever be. Here's the moment where you have the epiphany and you go, oh, wait, we were doing exactly what's happening to me. Everybody's jumping to conclusions. Gee, I don't like the way that feels. Maybe I'll stop doing it and suggest other people stop doing it. Nope. I mean, I can't, Clay. I can't. I can't. How many times an episode, guys, do I say that? Somebody can go through them all. Who has the energy to go through them all and compile all the times that I say I can't?
Can't do it.
I can't do it. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's see what else we got. Oh, let's talk about El Mencho. I said that so white, I'm sure. He is gone. Wait, I need you to tell the story though of how I love this. Go ahead.
So this is Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes, right? Jalisco Cartel.
Nice job.
He is one of the last of the old school cartel leaders. So he literally has an empire right below him, including armed capabilities of like army level capabilities. And so the one thing, if it's not arrogant, that gets guys like this in trouble every time. What is it? It's a woman.
It's a woman.
He had
always a woman, man.
He had a side piece that was an OnlyFans model, and he was on his way to go hook up with her, and that's when they got him. So, and they knew it. Like they literally used that intel to get him. So he got the Mexican army. We're tracking him. There has been, I don't even say whispers. It's more than whispers. Like there's been confirmation that the U.S. provided support for this, although it hasn't been disclosed what type of support. I can make some speculation. There's some intelligence, I'm sure, that was shared. It would not surprise me if there was some surveillance capabilities that were, either allocated to or information shared to the Mexican government to track and find this guy, right? Whether it was drones or satellites or whatever it was, U.S. intelligence supported this operation. That's not a secret. But Claudia Sheinbaum, I can't believe that's the name of the Mexican president, but that's the Mexican president, right? Yeah. So they ordered the strike. They got him. They were actually transporting him to a hospital. He died en route, which is interesting. It would have been interesting if they would have caught him alive, but they didn't, which is okay. And so now basically a war has broken out in Mexico. The Jalisco cartel and others are now jumping in. They are attacking the Mexican, government forces, whether it's law enforcement or military. They cannot provide enough security for President Sheinbaum. They flew her to a Mexican Navy ship because they could not guarantee her safety on ground. And now there are rumors, folks, and again, I've seen this, but I haven't heard it from her. But there was some statements made or supposedly made by her that said she's no longer going to authorize lethal force against the cartels because it would violate their human rights. I don't know if that's true or not. If somebody has seen her actually saying that, whether in English or in Spanish, please let us know. But that's the accusation. Now, I would tell you that if you've never seen, have you ever seen the Sicario movies?
No.
They're great movies. If you're an action fiction, like, kind of the stuff like the books that I write, they're Taylor Sheridan. They're great movies. They've got some great Benicio del Toro's in there. Josh Brolin's in there. They're great movies. Anyway, there's a scene in the second movie which perfectly describes exactly what is happening in Mexico right now, which is if you remove a cartel leader, it turns one cartel into 50. Right? So you now have a power vacuum and you've got an organization that has broken apart because everybody is trying to grab their piece of the pie right now. So you've got war going on between the cartels and the government, but also between the cartels themselves or factions within the cartels. This is going to degrade very, very quickly across the entire country of Mexico. And the last thing I'm going to say about this before I hand this over to you is, isn't everybody really, really glad that the border's closed right now?
Yeah. How about that? How about that timing, right? My goodness. So I'm sure most of us have seen some of those videos and heard the reports of American citizens, travelers, not just Americans, but travelers being told to shelter in place. Do not leave your resort. Stay put. You're not going anywhere. Don't even try it, which, I mean, if I was there right now, during all this, I'd be like, I'm just going to stay right here. I'm not going to move and wait till this blows over. But that's insane. And we actually do know people who were just there just before. I forget exactly where they were staying, but they were in one of the areas. They were there just before. They came home like a day or two before this went down. So one day longer, they would have been still there. Listen, I've been to Mexico, different parts of Mexico. It's either 3 or 4 times now. And I will be perfectly honest with you. I have had a terrible, horrible, nightmarish experience each time. And the last time we went, and let me tell you, nothing to do with cartels or anything like that. It's just like a series of unfortunate events took place each time. The first time I was a kid, I got Montezuma's revenge. Look it up if you don't know what that is. It is not okay. I was a teeny tiny little, I don't know, I think I was like 10 or 11 years old. My mother cried when I got off the plane. She didn't go with us. I went with my aunt and uncle. And she cried when I got off the plane because I was already like underweight as I was a scrawny kid and I had lost even weight. So that was my very first experience. And I, didn't go back again for, I don't know, like 20, 30 years or so. And, I could go down the list. It's a long story. I won't bore you guys with it, but it's just been a disaster each time. And the last time we went for a wedding and my husband and we were so sick. Like when we got there, like within an hour of being there, we both were sick. So we were already sick. We just didn't know it. And so I already said a little while back before any of this that I'm just going to be done with Mexico. Me and Mexico, we're just not compatible. This for me was kind of like, good call.
Yeah. Listen, folks, if you have plans, I don't care if you took the trip insurance or not. If you have plans to go to Mexico anytime in the next 6 months, I would start canceling that stuff because this is not going to clean itself up anytime soon. And, like whatever I can get a refund date is, you better know when that is.
Yes.
And I would not risk going beyond that. Like maybe you sit on it till you're whatever it is, 3 months out or whatever it has to be. But this is not going to get better anytime soon. It's just not. So if you're planning on going to Mexico, because they are still there, Puerto Vallarta is closed, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody coming or going. People are stuck there in all these resorts. And of course, if you've seen any of the interviews on TV, they have found, the most redneck Americans possible for these interviews.
Of course.
Right? Yeah. It is like hurricane interviews, right?
Yeah.
They always find that person.
They do.
And that's who they're finding. So regardless, we hope that they're all safe. None of us wanted to bleed over into that. And the Mexican civilian population is paying a price right now.
Yeah.
There are cities being burned. There are people being killed. It has gotten out of flipping control, but it's not going to get better anytime soon. And again, thank you, President Trump, for closing the border.
Yes. How about everybody give a collective thank you for that? Yeah. Wild stuff. Of course, we'll all be keeping an eye on it. And to any of you who have any stories to share about that, please feel free to drop them in the comments too. Yeah, listen, it's honestly my whole thing. No offense to Mexico. It's just, my goodness, I just don't have any luck there. And honestly, it's a scary place. It is a scary, scary place. I don't know why we keep wanting to go there for resorts. There's like lots of other places, guys. Again, sorry, Mexico, but that's the way it is. Oh, let's see. Let's move back over here into the States. Let's talk about this. Bad words, bad words, bad words. Don't say them, don't say them, don't say them. Okay. Mom Donnie, if you couldn't guess who I was talking about. So I do love the irony. Did that go off of there? I want it to stay on there. I love this. So, with all this snowstorms, we were talking about the top of the show. We were talking about who was snowed in, who wasn't. I'm in New England, so we got snowed in pretty well. New York, of course, was having a great deal of trouble, namely that they didn't have enough workers to shovel the snow. So Mom Donnie basically said, hey, guys, you want to come shovel the snow, everyone? Please do. We could use your help. That would be wonderful. By the way, make sure you bring 2 forms of ID and this and that and da-da-da. The irony is comical, honestly, right? You can't make this up.
No, you can't. And President Trump pointed it out last night during the State of the Union address. And Mom Donnie was questioned, like, why is this a thing? Why do they require? And he's like, well, we have to pay them, and to pay them, we have, we're in the government, we have to abide by, taxing them, and it's, and so Social Security card was required, 2 forms of ID, all of these things. And President Trump said something last night, which I don't know if is necessarily true or not. But he did say that one of the reasons that New York doesn't have enough emergency crews to shovel the snow is because of the partial government shutdown, including DHS. So because DHS was shut down, emergency capabilities were not in place to be utilized by the city of New York to dig themselves out, and so on and so forth. So it was another blame to the Democrats. I don't know if that's true or not. To me, that something doesn't seem connected there, but it's entirely possible that I'm wrong. So, but regardless, it's poor planning, right? It's poor everything, and
poor planning, poor management, poor everything,
and the expectation by the mayor that people would just jump in and and help out. Now they were getting, first of all, they were getting paid initially, I think it was $20 an hour, and then they upped it to $30 an hour. You know why they upped it to $30 an hour? Because nobody was showing up to shovel.
No, because everybody's like, we literally pay taxes for you to do this. Like, we're literally already paying you, so you're just going to give me back my money, basically, to do your job that I pay. It's so insane. Yeah, I saw a video of from your guy there, Michael Rappaport.
Rappaport, yeah.
Yeah, he was doing kind of like a man on the street thing and just kind of giving the overview. All these cars were parked on the street there, and they were completely ice and snowed in, like they couldn't budge, so they're essentially, vehicles were all basically trapped in place, and it was just a disaster. And of course, he was going off in his style that he does. And it's like, oh my goodness.
The angry Jewish man from New York.
I used to, I've had such a roller coaster of emotion about that guy.
Well, so he's been a roller coaster.
He is a roller coaster. Yeah,
he hated President Trump for 4 solid years, and
aggressively.
Then, was doing that very man on the street thing for 4 years with President Trump, and then after about 2 years or so with President Biden, he flipped. He lost. He was like, "This is ridiculous. I can't believe I was on the opposite side, or I was on this side, and then I was against President Trump." And now he has turned into a huge conservative advocate,
it's wild,
and an endorser of the Republican Party. So yeah, very, very interesting. But that's exactly the awakening that we would expect, and that's what's happening in New York City right now.
Big
not
time.
Just by people like Rappaport, but other just normal citizens are figuring out they got sold a bill of goods, and truthfully, they're paying for it, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's extremely bad. And, another facet of that is the kind of the second part of this segment, this story. It's been widely spread around. There's all different angles of it. It's probably gone pretty viral. There is video footage of NYPD officers being pelted. And this, let me tell you how, I can't even tell you how much anger this fills me with for all of the obvious reasons. So here's that.
How you a cop and snitching? You good? You okay?
The level of disrespect it's so unbelievable. It is so disgusting to me that they were subjected to this. And then to add insult to that, this jackass has this to say about it.
It looks like a snowball fight. I think that there were 2 officers who were facing lacerations on their face.
Looks like a snowball fight to him. That looked like a snowball fight to you? Yeah, I don't think so. Not at all. So it's just another addition to the level of chaos and disorder that New York City has fallen into under this type of leadership. And it's only going to keep getting worse. Like, it's going to keep getting worse and worse. And I am so heartbroken for NYPD. How demoralizing can this be for them? It's just awful. I'm not speechless. I'm just trying to control what I say.
So, again, how bad can it get for them? Well, he just canceled the hire of 5,000 more officers, right? Who are in the process of being hired. So now you're not replacing those that are leaving. So they're going to be understaffed. In the wintertime, as most people know, crime activity goes down because most criminals don't like to be out in the crappy weather.
Right.
When this warms up, right? When winter passes and you start getting into summer months and more of his policies start kicking in, right? And things get worse and worse, and you start to lose more and more and more police officers, this is going to turn into a powder keg, right? New York is going to get really, really bad. Now, I've said, multiple times, like, sometimes it's just got to burn, right? It's just the way it
I know. I agree. It's true.
But
sadly,
the disrespect for police is continuing to increase in the major metro areas. Obviously, we saw it in Minneapolis against ICE. And then you've got the disconnect because the police there are so crappy because of their leadership, right? They're being held back and the leadership is terrible. But I saw video from Chicago, right? My hometown, just the other day. So 1, 2, 3, 4 police officers arresting one young man, right? 2 of them are controlling him. They don't yet have him in cuffs. The other 2 are literally holding back, right? Playing defense against about 5 or 6 young men, I would guess somewhere between 16 and 20 years old, right? So they're trying not to pull a taser or a gun, but those boys are trying to get to their buddy to pull him free or to pull the police officers off of him to give him a chance to go. And the officers did a phenomenal job of keeping this at bay and all of that. So, but you're starting to see more of those things, right? They're not shooting at cops. It's not kinetic. They're not even swinging really at cops. Now, is that assault with a snowball? Sure it is. Sure. Do I think that those kids should be in jail? I absolutely do. But it's, all of these young men, and that's predominantly who it is, are pushing the line as far as they possibly can.
Right.
And then as soon as the police react, it turns into victimhood immediately. And then what happens after that. Then we have more riots and we have more, signs and we have more protests and we have all of these other things that happen. So when it gets warm, it's not getting any better. It's going to get 10 times.
No, it's going to be awful. And I tell you, if you're someone who likes to, travel to New York for touristy stuff, whether it's to see a show or go shopping or do all the things, I would think twice. I would think twice about doing that because it is unsafe to do so.
Treat it like Mexico, folks. Don't go.
Treat it like Mexico. Yeah. Don't go. So, I mean, listen, do what you want to do, but you've been warned because it's not good. Speaking of really crappy leadership, let's throw this guy in. Let's throw this guy in.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Sir, what?
The guy has got a bachelor's degree from Santa Clara University.
Yeah.
You don't get to play that card.
No.
You don't. If you have a college degree, you can't play. Either somebody needs to go back and revoke his degree from Santa Clara because he can't read and all of his grades are faked, or he can't play that card, right? I get it. He's got dyslexia. It's been documented. That's fine. I don't care. Okay. He is well beyond that at this point in his life. You know who else has dyslexia? Tom flippin' Cruise.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, right? Look at what that guy does. Does he pretend to be I'm sorry, this is 960 SAT. I'm just like you guys. No. Like it's garbage. I can't stand it.
Yeah, the whole phrasing of that entire thing is basically the I'm just like you, I can't read. Are you hearing what you're saying? Like when they actually let the quiet parts out loud of what they really think of the general population of their voters, their constituents, when they let that part out, it's just people listen to what they're telling you. Like they're telling you what they actually think of you. Oh, he's a joke, and he's a joke that they keep in. Go ahead.
No, so also, folks, don't buy into the false reaction to this. Okay, there's a lot of people that are claiming. Listen, it's a crappy message. He shouldn't have said it, and he's playing to the crowd. He's doing all of those things. People have tried to turn this into a race thing, and I know that's what they want to do. But if you've seen the pan into the audience of that event, yes, that was hosting him and sitting on stage with him was black. That was not a black event. That was not a filled with black people that he was trying to, communicate and associate with. That was a very, very mixed race, multi-demographic crowd. There were plenty of white people in the audience. So do not let anybody try and convince you that he was being subtly racist. Because that was not the
he
audience.
wasn't trying to insult black people. He was trying to insult everyone.
Everyone. That's right. Yes. So, as crappy as the message is, he was insulting everyone.
It was meant for everyone. It was meant for everyone. That's not him.
Yes.
Oh, let's talk quickly about this. I honestly, I really wish that I did watch more of it now because of hockey and because of the ice skating. I kind of do wish. So I'm doing the next best thing, which is catching all of these clips and everything, which have been phenomenal. So we did talk a little bit about all of the negatives regarding surrounding the Olympics and all of the politics and the this and then that and all of the things. Today we're just going to talk about the awesomeness. Let's just take a moment and look at some awesomeness right there. How about that for awesomeness? There's another great picture. I don't have it here, but there's another great picture with the kids. They went out and got the little kids and brought them out there.
Yeah,
so
kids.
Cool. Cool. Beautiful thing. People who, love and celebrate being American and America and that pride and that awesomeness. Absolutely love those moments for us as a country.
Yes. Congratulations to the entire Olympic team. Highest medal count for an American team out at any Olympics outside the United States or outside of North America. So there's been a couple both in Canada and the United States where we've done better, but 32 total medals, second overall, 12 gold, 12 silver, 8 bronze, including gold medals by men's and women's hockey. Beat Canada, the game they invented.
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau can stick it. But listen, folks, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it very, very clearly from my perspective. If you are worked up, upset, bothered by, pissed off about Kash Patel, you really need to get a hold of yourself.
Yeah.
He was a representative of the administration. He is a lifelong hockey player. The guy still plays in bar leagues, in and around the DC area. President Trump, I'm positive, asked him, do you want to go as a representative of the administration? And he said, hell yeah. And he got him there. He was invited into the locker room. If you haven't seen it, one of the players hung their gold medal around his neck. They wanted him there. Okay.
That's so cool.
Stop trying to make this something it's not. And if you think that he is wasting American taxpayer dollars by flying over there, it happens all the time under every administration. And you know what? He is required to personal and professional travel, fly in a government plane. Period. So even if he took a casual vacation, him and his girlfriend, and they went to Italy, he still has to fly in that plane.
Right.
So get over yourselves. Seriously, enjoy the moment. Let the administration, let the country enjoy the moment. Stop being a jerk about it. Grow up.
There's the same people who, if they see a police officer in their town getting a cup of coffee, well, it's not what I pay my tax dollars for. I pay your salary. Like, shut up. Just shut up. You're so annoying. Everybody hates you. Just shut up. I don't mean to be that mean about it, but seriously, you really push us to it. Oh my goodness. What do we got? Oh my gosh. Well, what do we have left? We have the comment section. So I really just want to focus on, there were quite a few, of course, many of them that we could have gone into, but I just want to talk about this one, sir. I just want to talk about this one. Y'all, Mark over here said, dude has weapons on his wall. Terrifying. So I, of course, I had to. I didn't even ask Clay about it first. I ripped off a video right away about it.
Sir, are you okay? Did the big scary gun on the wall of a stranger in a video that you're looking at on your screen scare you? It terrified you? Do you need therapy? Do you need a safe space? Do you need a pacifier? Do you feel triggered? Oh, no pun intended. How about this teeny tiny little cross? Does that frighten you too? Does that make you feel scared? Do you need your mommy? Do you need help learning how to scroll past things that make you uncomfortable? Or I'm sorry, terrified? We can do a tutorial for you. It wouldn't take long. Way less time than this video. We're so terribly sorry that the weapon on the wall of a combat veteran terrified you. There's an open door in the background here. Does that give you anxiety? Do you need it shut? Seriously, your feelings are honestly at the top of the list of concerns, and I have addressed it with Clay. I've ordered him to take it down and put up a daisy instead so that you won't feel terrified. Okay? Okay. Bye-bye.
Granted, perhaps possibly mercilessly mocking this man for being terrified of weapons mounted on a wall, on a screen of a video that he could just as easily scroll by if he felt so frightened by them. So in that video, Clay, I said I was going to order that you put up daisies instead. Are you going to listen to me when I tell you to do that?
No,
Good. Good.
Yeah.
I would be highly disappointed in you if you did. Good.
And they've been there for, a year.
Yeah.
Right. We've been doing like since I, kind of reset things here. It's been a year. They've been hanging there.
Yes.
And folks, for those of you that don't know, I continue to say this. I'm an author. I've written some books, and these are actually like the hero from my books carries that pistol and that knife, and those are mine. And so it's advertising as much as it is anything else.
That's right.
However, it's America. So get over yourself.
Yeah. Get over yourself, you silly little scared man. So I'm so embarrassed for that guy. Like, I looked twice. I'm like, maybe his wife is posting on his account. But like at first I thought it was a woman. Like I just assumed before I looked at the name, and I'm like, Well, he just lost his man card, but no man card for you. No man card for you. Stop being so fragile. That's it. I mean, that's honestly all I have to say about it. If you guys want to see the video, it's on my channel. You can see it. I was a mean girl. I got mean girl about it, but it's just sometimes, man, I gotta do it. I gotta do it sometimes.
You know, the video from a week ago, the one that got duetted, that got like millions of views, and we were talking about the Super Bowl, the World Cup. There was a comment there where somebody was like, "Bro," you know, some guy from Europe was like, "Bro, why?" You know, and I didn't even have to say it. Some guy jumped in and goes, "Because it's America. That's why."
Because it's America,
you know?
and he can. I'm sorry if whatever country you're in doesn't allow you to do what you want to do in your own home, but you know, in America, we can do that. So
it's all cool.
Good grief. They're so silly. Oh, well, we love them and we love the comment section, and we appreciate you guys. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, we love when you pipe in there and you give us more things to talk about. It's a great time and we love it. So thank you tremendously for doing that, guys. Clay, you get the honors. You know the routine.
Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. Another great show. Lots going on. And we will be back next week. And again, just so everybody's clear, Terry Davis series, there's 3 books out there. If you like action fiction, I'm your guy. Go check them out on Amazon. Clay Novak, they're out there. And the title of the first book, and what I tell you every week, keep moving, keep shooting.
That's right, guys. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.
The headlines will change by tomorrow, but the patterns won't. Thanks for spending this time with us. We'll be back to keep asking the harder questions and telling the quieter truths. Until then, stay grounded, be discerning, and we'll see you next time.